In this video, we're going to look at the exponential function y equals b to the x, and we're going to concern ourselves with how the graph behaves for different values of b. So first, let's do a quick exploration with different values of b. I'm going to use the website desmos.com, and I'm going to type y equals b raised to the x power, and it asks me if I want to add a slider, so I'm going to say yes. And I can quickly see that when b is 1, the graph looks like this flat line. And then with a slider, I can change the different values. I can make it move to 2.7, this value of b, the number that's being raised to the x power, and so on. So there was something special about 1, and I can just go type 1 again. When the value is 1, 1 raised to any power is 1. So I just see this flat line through 1. And I notice that if the values get bigger than 1, the graph starts to increase. If the numbers get smaller than 1, like 0.7, the graph starts to decrease. And then if they get negative, the graph just kind of disappears. So we're looking at values that are positive, so greater than 0. If they're less than 1, the graph looks decreasing. If they're greater than 1, the graph looks increasing. So that brings us to this. Looking at these graphs, I see two graphs that are increasing. So I immediately know that the value of b must be larger than 1. And then which graph, A or B, has a larger value of b? So I'm looking at how quickly it grows. Because notice if I go back to this, if I could pick larger values of b, the graph just grows faster. It has a very similar shape, but it gets tall, it goes up faster. So if I go back and look at this, in the same x values, 0 through 4, this graph made it to maybe around 10, and this graph made it past 24. So B is the one that has a larger value of this b. Similarly, I'm looking at these two graphs, and they're both decreasing, so I know immediately that the value of b must be less than 1. So I'm going to type that here. And which one has a smaller value of b? So the one that has a smaller value of b, and remember, we're looking at this equation y equals b to the x. That's what we're talking about, the base, the number that's being raised to a power. The smaller that number is, the faster it decreases. So as I look at the same x values, 0 through 4, graph A drops below 0.4 in the end, and graph B drops a little bit below 0.3. So B is the one that has a smaller value of b, because it drops a little bit faster.